Hello, welcome to this update for Europe. Let's see a few things that are happening. So, we have this snow happening now, spots of Eastern Europe and even Southeastern Europe, some spots there near Macedonia, Greece, Bulgaria, and at the same time, we have this big low pressure in the Atlantic near the Azores, bringing a lot of gusty winds there and rain. So we'll watch for that as well. So here, let's see the forecast until mid-April in some spots of Europe. And we have here like these temperatures that there's kind of this cold air mass coming down from Russia, Finland, and those areas into southeastern Europe, and this warm air mass further in Western Europe with the above average temperatures. So both are like meeting there in Central Europe, and there's this warmer air mass near Asia too. So shows here continues well below average in spots of eastern southeastern Europe throughout this week, and then this goes still by April 10th shows above average on the west and more cold like northeastern Europe. This goes, and this by early next week shows more above average Central and Western Europe, and still this cold around Russia and Eastern Europe. So this goes later shows above average going towards Eastern Europe. By the 15th is maybe slightly below average further in Southwestern Europe. So we'll keep watching. There's the European model as well. Shows like this cold in Eastern Europe now and these above average temperatures further west. This dives down further throughout this week, colder in some spots of southeastern Europe and even Italy, Central Europe, some spots there. And still this above average on the west. This keeps going, shows like this is by April 13th, more above average for Central Europe and still colder in Russia and some spots there. Then this goes, shows a big above average by April 16th, later in Eastern Europe, but slightly below average on the west. But it quickly recovers to above average by the 18th or something. But we'll keep watching because after that, still shows maybe some below average coming in. So because of that, we have this snow, the below average temperatures in Eastern Europe, and this snow in Southeastern Europe too, near Greece, Bulgaria, spots of Macedonia, and Belarus and Ukraine there in Russia. So Monday still shows Monday morning more snow near northeastern Greece, even westernmost Turkey and Bulgaria. Be careful, might be having a few spots, and then still shows by Tuesday some snow around Ukraine, northern Moldova, spots of Romania too. So be aware that snow. And then Tuesday, Wednesday shows like this clash of systems in Turkey and Georgia, probably more snow there, and in the Caucasus especially. There'll be this sneaky guy near the Azores and Madeira by the 9th that might eventually bring some rains or storms to Spain on the 10th, some showers there. And while this is happening, still shows some snow lingering in Eastern Europe Thursday the 10th, still by Friday the 11th, the GFS actually has more snow spots in northeastern Europe, and then this goes. But later, around the 13th or something, shows maybe more storms around Spain, France, Portugal, and Italy in the Mediterranean. Around the 13th, the 14th, that the GFS is this big thing into Italy with more snow and more rain as well. And then this goes, and after that is just a very huge mess by the GFS, showing like a bunch of storms mixed with snow in the mountains into mid-April. So we have to watch mid-April very closely. And here there's the European, shows like that snow spots of Eastern Europe, especially Southeastern Europe heavier there. And then Monday shows there to tomorrow and Tuesday, still some snow around Eastern Europe, those areas there. And let's see it here because there it's not fully loaded. So shows like in Eastern Europe Sunday, Monday that snow, might be a few storms in Turkey as well, those areas. So Monday to Tuesday still shows some snow northern Turkey, even some spots of freezing rain. So be aware. And shows this snow in Russia, more ice in some spots, and Ukraine, Romania, those areas there. So be aware. And then Tuesday shows like maybe a few showers in Spain. Wednesday, because it's already warmer now, those above average temperatures this week might feel some convection, especially in the mountains there. So those showers can easily be a few thunderstorms. And then shows like by Wednesday, this clash of systems in Turkey and Armenia and Azerbaijan and Georgia, more snow in those areas. Wednesday, Thursday shows more snow until Friday in Turkey. So be aware there and monitor for future weather updates because after that still shows some snow on the 12th and 13th. So be aware in Turkey. And then shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the European does show this other mass of snow Wednesday to Thursday, starts like in the Baltics and dives down to Belarus, Ukraine, and shows like Friday, Saturday still these waves of snow in Eastern Europe. So be aware that snow. And after that, we'll start having a situation. Shows on the 12th, spots of Portugal and Spain, some more showers. This shows on the 13th into the 14th of April in Italy, maybe some storms as well, and some snow. Late on the 14th, showing widespread showers and storms for France, spots of Spain as well, even Northern Africa, and especially in Italy. Monday the 14th shows Tuesday the 15th, and the Europeans bringing some big fronts around the 16th as well into Portugal, spots of Spain, and France and Italy as well. So this goes and it shows a lot of snow in the Alps from this on the 17th maybe. And then this goes, maybe some leftover moisture in Eastern Europe, and then still shows something on the west there later in the end of April. So be aware those areas. There's the icon here too, shows that snow in southeastern Europe today until Monday. Might be heavier in those spots of Greece, Turkey, and Bulgaria. Be careful. Monday this goes. Tuesday that snow like in Latvia, Lithuania, spots of Poland, and not way down to Ukraine by Thursday and Friday. It still shows some snow after that, so be aware. But later, showing like potential after April 10th, more storms in Spain again and Portugal and Morocco. So we'll keep monitoring that. Be aware. And there's here like the European model for some rain. Not sure if I will find it here, like the average precipitation, I think here anomaly. So the precipitation anomaly shows like later after April 11th and everything, Iberia and some spots there might be some above average precipitation. around Semana Santa, as they call it. So, and still shows later into April 12 near Italy, France, some more above average precipitation spreading into Central Europe. So the GFS is really bursting some big amounts of rain near the Balkans and Italy there. So we'll keep watching, but it might be exaggerating a little bit. So this is the GFS, not the European. I'm so sorry. But let's see now the European. So there's like the 0Z shows this week, tomorrow in some areas some below average. And this is not like the precipitation normally, this is the precipitable water normalized anomaly. So practically the amount of moisture in the atmosphere that can precipitate. So this is not like the precipitation anomaly itself, but yeah, the greens can indicate more rain. So shows around April 12 and those times in Spain and Portugal and France, some above average precipitation. And then the European takes this into Central Europe, more above average precipitation, and even further northeast into mid April. So we'll keep watching this. Be aware those areas. There's like some wind here. So especially the Azores, those areas there shows like some higher gusts because of this system, more spots. So Monday this goes might be very strong in Legends and in other spots there. So be careful. Let me see here for them in Portuguese. Então, cuidado com esse evento nas Azores, dia 6, domingo hoje, e dia 7, amanhã, e ainda terça-feira, um pouco de vento. Tá bem forte esse vento, com umas ondas bem grandes. No Atlântico, assim, por causa desse sistema, tá bem grande essas ondas, esses ventos. Então, tomem cuidado. Yeah, so you heard that. Be careful. And the waves, too, some very large waves. So Sunday, Monday, this goes, and maybe occasionally some winds near Madeira or the Canary Islands, but nothing crazy. Might be more around the Canary Islands later, around April 10th, as that low pressure tries to go around there. But Morocco, the Europeans like very intense those winds. Morocco on the 11th, and in Algeria. So we'll look at Africa more in depth as this gets closer, but just be watching. Shows like spots of the Adriatic Sea near Greece and Italy, more spots the Mediterranean, slightly higher gusts as you go into Monday. In Turkey, many spots, some higher gusts there. So be aware, Monday, Tuesday, still shows in Syria, in Egypt, some higher gusts in a few spots, and the Caucasus. And if you zoom in here, it's much higher in spots of the mountains there. So be aware, even the Strait of Gibraltar on Tuesday, and then this shows more winds in the Middle East and Northern Africa and Gibraltar by Wednesday, especially Northern Europe, which we'll see in a second, and then it does show later through Southeastern Europe, Bulgaria, some spots Thursday, the 10th, and Ukraine as well. Now still some more winds. Thursday, Friday not much, but shows this low pressure around Ukraine. Friday, some winds there, and the Western Caucasus, especially stronger in Azerbaijan, especially in Iran, more winds there. So be aware, Friday, Saturday, the rest here is too far out, but eventually does show more wind. This distance, the Mediterranean on the 14th, 15th, the Europeans just blasting crazy storm systems after the 16th in Western Europe, but that's kind of far. We'll keep monitoring. So be aware, the GFS is a similar thing. Shows like the Azores, those gusts that swirls around the Atlantic, and then does show throughout this week spots of Africa near the Middle East as well. And this shows later like On the 14th, the Mediterranean and Northern Africa, some systems there. Still showing like on the 16th a lot of action near Northern Africa, Iberia, more wind, and yeah, but that's kind of far. Be aware in those areas. And there's the icon here for more precise gusts, like in the Balkans, also happening today. Monday, spots of southern Italy, might be some more wind there. Spots of Turkey, you can zoom in and check some precise spots there. Georgia, some higher gusts. So be aware in those areas. And Monday, this goes still near Turkey in the Middle East. Tuesday, still on Wednesday, the icon has some big winds in Turkey, very strong, and even near Cyprus or some other spots of the Caucasus in Turkey. So be aware. Wednesday, the icon has Thursday, that there into Friday in Ukraine, Romania. Be aware in those mountains, in Bulgaria, Serbia, around Thursday, Moldova too, and to Friday in the Black Sea and Turkey and the Caucasus. But wind is still quite breezy in Austria, Central Europe, by like the 11th. This goes and yeah, be careful, be aware. There's Northern Europe, shows like uh, this big, enormous Arctic low pressure system near Thursday, the 8th, by the European, some nasty winds in the northern coast of Norway and more northwestern Sweden in some areas there. Then Tuesday, Wednesday has this going into Russia. Be careful there. Those winds, and depending if there's snow or not, might be kind of low visibility and blizzard like. So be careful, especially in the northernmost areas. And then in Finland and most of Sweden shows some higher gusts Wednesday. Near Latvia, Estonia as well, probably some higher waves too. And then showing like Thursday around central southern Norway once again, and Sweden some more gusts. Friday still shows around Denmark or southern Sweden, slightly higher gusts, Norway, and maybe Russia, more spots there. And near Iceland in the ocean there, and then still shows some wind makers in Norway, Sweden on the 12th, and some more. So be aware. There's the icon too. Let's see if it has a similar thing or not. So it shows this. Let's see if it loads here, because the internet here is not good here. So it does show Tuesday. So the icon has this approaching Tuesday into Wednesday into northern Sweden and Norway, especially Norway, more than 100 km per gusts on the coast there of northern Norway. So be careful. Still has around Norway into Russia, close to 123 km per gust later Wednesday, and at the same time shows into Russia like some nasty gusts, into Finland, some high gusts, Sweden and spots there shows Wednesday, Thursday, the icons as like this other system to central Norway, some more winds there, and southern Norway. So be aware Thursday, Friday, does show in Finland there, potentially some higher gusts Friday, and sorry for these connection issues here. So shows in Iceland as well. So be aware Friday, Saturday, maybe some small localized wind makers later. So be careful in those areas. For snow, here now, there's like just next 12 hours in Greece and Bulgaria shows upwards of 23 centimeters, 22, 19, so more snow there as I showed you, so be careful, might accumulate fast and cause some problems. And maybe to westernmost Turkey too, shows in Albania, spots of Macedonia, so be already starting some in Turkey. And let's see now, next 5 days already show slightly more in Bulgaria, close to 28 centimeters, some in the mountains of Greece still. By next 5 days shows in Romania already close to 25 centimeters, more spots of Romania, Ukraine, northern Slovakia and Poland, and shows a lot more snow in Russia and Belarus. Those areas there, especially in Russia, close to 40 centimeters. Be careful there. Ukraine shows more snow too. Most of Ukraine, and Turkey, especially the northern parts of Turkey, shows more snow, even close to 30 centimeters, 50 centimeters, and in the Caucasus might really get you like more than 100 centimeters by the icons, some in Azerbaijan as well, and more spots. So stay safe, be careful. There's the European model too. You can see the west is kind of quiet in terms of snow, and the east is very cold. So let's see. Here shows in Turkey the European even to 60 centimeters in some spots, 37 centimeters, 26. So be aware, especially in the Caucasus, more than 196, 79 centimeters. So be aware, those areas, especially later this week. In Bulgaria, this snow happening now, 22 to 18 centimeters, or even localized amounts more. And Greece, a few spots in the high elevations. Later this week in Russia, more than 30, 40 centimeters. Most of Ukraine, beware Belarus too, 21 centimeters. Slovakia, Poland, even northern Czechia and Austria. And Western Europe does have some spots of its own, like southernmost Spain, some mountains there. So yeah, there's Northern Europe now, shows in Norway some 63 centimeters, 52, 23, some more in Finland, like some widespread snow, not too heavy, but more snow most areas. And then shows northernmost Norway some 20 centimeters, 32, some in Iceland, but not that much. So be careful this snow too. And long range, just for curiosity, alright, shows a lot in the Alps from the systems in mid-April, and maybe some of the Pyrenees too, but that's too far, so be aware those areas. Now something important to see if this system in Norway will bring snow. So this is Tuesday to Wednesday. Shows snow northern Norway and Sweden. And remember those winds I showed you might be even close to 100 km per gust or even higher in northern Norway. So this snow plus that wind, really be careful for blizzard conditions and low visibility. So gotta be careful there. And even like Russia, Finland, and some spots of freezing rain in Norway too. So beware. Tuesday, Wednesday shows more snow scattered around the Baltics, around Norway, Sweden, Finland. Then Thursday, they do get this wave of snow into Norway and Sweden Thursday. This goes some heavy precipitation maybe Thursday night in Norway, and this crosses Finland as well, like between Thursday and Friday, especially Thursday, more snow there, and then goes into Russia Friday, and Belarus and Ukraine, Estonia, Latvia, maybe some on Friday as well, and southeastern Norway. There shows some in Iceland by that time, and some in spots of Greenland. So be aware of this snow, be careful. And here there's this map of potential thunderstorms, show like in the Middle East some storms this week, and then Wednesday, Thursday shows even Morocco some possible storms in Turkey, and then this goes later shows maybe on the 10th in Portugal or spots of Spain, and the European still has like on the 13th Northern Africa, France, Spain, maybe the possibility of a few storms, and then on the 14th and later maybe a few spots of Europe. But yeah, but just beware. And there might not be 100% accurate. There might be some localized storms in like some mountainous areas that happen a day or two in the afternoon. So be aware. The temperatures are still cold throughout spots of Eastern Europe, and spots of Romania, all the way to the Alps, those colder temperatures. And Western Europe is much milder. Some spots of Spain were even to like 23, 24 degrees today. And yeah, but further east in the Balkans, still those negative temperatures. Central Italy as well, spots in Bulgaria. So be aware in Romania, Slovakia, and Ukraine. This is kind of in the evening now. If I put this in the morning time, like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., shows a big portion of Eastern Europe below negative temperatures. Estonia, Latvia, Belarus, nothing extreme, but cold. That's cold. So be aware. Romania, even to minus 13 in the mountains, all the way down to Greece, some negative temperatures. In the Balkans, cold as well. Spots of Italy shows in Austria some minus 15. In the Alps, some minus 8. In the Pyrenees, some negative temperatures, some spots there, even some other high elevations of Spain, because during the night it does get quite cold there. Not like Eastern Europe, but kind of chilly. So be aware, some spots in Turkey and the Caucasus as well. And Northern Europe's like some minus 9, some minus 12, some minus 2, and more fraud spots of Northern Europe, and some in Iceland as well. The UK is some like 6 degrees, further north some minus 1, 0. In the Highlands, some active temperatures, Germany, even Luxembourg as well. Monday, this goes in the afternoon, even to like 24 degrees in Spain, southern France, even 25 southern Spain, Portugal, but still cold during the day. Belarus, Russia, the Balkans there in the mountains in Romania as well, and in other spots. This goes Tuesday morning shows still this cold, all the way down to Bulgaria and Greece, minus 8, very cold in the Balkans, central Italy there, spots in the Alps still, and like in Eastern Europe, Latvia, Estonia, and kind of Chile in some other areas too. Finland, most of Finland some active temperatures, and in Norway and Sweden as well, very cold. In Iceland, mainly central Iceland, the rest is kind of above negative, but still cold. So Tuesday, the afternoon does warm up, even to like 26 degrees in Portugal, and spots of France, kind of warmer, but still cold there in the east. Wednesday morning still shows this cold throughout Eastern Europe, even to minus 11 in the Alps, that's a minus 10 in Bulgaria, in Romania, very, very cold. There's some different models, slightly different, but shows very cold Wednesday. To Thursday, slightly warm on the west, but still cold during the night. Some interior spots there, especially in the Alps, but this cold moves further east. So yeah, but Turkey is already like below freezing in most of the mountains and areas there, Georgia as well. So be careful throughout this week. In the afternoon does get somewhat better in Turkey, and the cold confined to the highest locations, but still cold. Like as Saturday morning, the 12th, the harsh cold is further to Russia, Norway, and Finland, but still kind of chilly in Eastern Europe. So be aware, especially Turkey, the Alps, still cold, the high mountain peaks. But does show, for example, after the 13th, already milder temperatures spreading through Eastern Europe. And then this goes, and we'll see what happens after. But be careful, be aware, those areas. And always like there's not much fog, but some places still have in the morning. So just be aware as well, some visibility stuff. And yeah, and here like today we did have some storms in Portugal today. Last week in Spain was absolutely crazy in Sevilla, and we have this snow now in Eastern Europe. So stay safe, be aware. We'll keep monitoring these trends here. There's just like one last thing. There might be interesting for you. So this is the European, show like those lower pressures further in Eastern Europe, the cold air, and this higher pressure Central Western Europe. But later, if we switch to the GFS, shows a similar thing, but the Wi-Fi is just so slow here. But later does show this higher pressures further into Central Europe, and kind of some lower pressures to watch near Western Europe, like after the 14th or something. They might bring some more instability near the west, like I showed you in the rain, in the precipitable water anomalies in that map earlier. But just something to watch. And yeah, stay safe. Just one more thing might be important. There's this model here, the arpegge, to see the snow and everything. It shows that snow happening now in southeastern Europe, those areas. Be careful. They're in Russia, Belarus as well happening. And then also shows later the middle of this week some snow there, northeastern Europe, and it goes. And later, by like after the 11th, shows some rain creeping into Iberia there. So be aware. There's some wind as well, like I showed you the gusts in some of those areas there, and even later by the 10th, like north of Spain, more spots. But be aware. And the precipitation. This map is cool as well. Shows the rain like going as the days go by. So stay safe.